Hello peeps! Today I want to talk to you about carpal tunnel syndrome. And before I go into any details, let me just tell you I'm not an expert, no doctor or anything like that. Everything that I'm going to tell you is about my own personal experience going through it. So if you're suffering from carpal tunnel syndrome, I hope that this video is helpful to you. But you got to do your own research in terms of symptoms, treatment, surgery, doctors, everything like that. You got to do your own research and just make sure that you make an informed decision. For me, I started having pain on my hand, especially my right hand and my forearm. It wouldn't happen often, but it would just get intense. I would rest my arm for like a day and it would like go away. Then I got pregnant with my first daughter, and after my first trimester, the pain intensified. It would not go away, and being that I was pregnant, there was no treatment. There was basically no medication. So there was no treatment while you're pregnant. But once the pregnancy was over, I was able to go for a test, which confirmed it was carpal tunnel syndrome. And then I was able to schedule surgery. The surgery was done in like a couple of hours, and the same day, several hours later, I was home. They did that for my right hand, which I can show you right here. Maybe you could see the scar. You could see the scar right there on my right hand, and then which it was my worst hand, and then they did my second hand, my left hand. They did my left hand, but it's very difficult to see the scar. It's barely non-existent, which it was very great. I healed very nicely. I did go to therapy like after a week after surgery. I started therapy, and then I did my exercises for my hands like constantly, and I healed and got back to normal pretty fast. My hands were like the surgery was a month apart, on each hand, and then I healed pretty quickly. I did do therapy very often, and I wanted my hands to go back to being normal. And when I was going through all the symptoms, it was horrible. It was constant pain. I would do dishes and be in pain. And it was constant pain, numbness. I couldn't hardly do my hair. I couldn't hardly do anybody's hair. It was really painful. Things will fall off my hand because my hands will fall asleep. And things will fall out of my hands. And when I would sit down to eat, a lot of times I had to take one bite and put the fork down and let my hands rest hanging down so that they wouldn't fall asleep. Then after surgery, all the pain, numbness, everything went away. The surgery was very successful and I healed really quickly, really nicely. You saw my scars. They're not very visible. So most people, I would say 99% of the people that meet me, they do not know that I have gotten the surgery because the scar, it's barely there. Then the only thing that I did notice after surgery and even years down, because it has been about almost 10 years. It's been almost 10 years that I got my surgery, carpal tunnel surgery done. My hands are not as strong as they used to be before. I had the carpal tunnel and all of that. But that being said, I would trade it anytime. Because even though my hands are a little bit, just a little bit weaker, not as strong as they used to be, but they're not in pain anymore. They're not falling asleep anymore. And all of that uncomfortable feelings that I was having, it's gone. So what I recommend if you get a good doctor, you do your research, for me, it is the best decision of my life. I don't regret it. If I had to do it again, I would. Ever since I got carpal tunnel surgery done, my life had improved immensely. I'm not in pain, and definitely something that I would do again. I definitely would. I would do it again. If you have any questions, let me know. I will answer any questions that you send me. Maybe any concerns. Maybe I didn't give you enough information. So if you have any questions after this, you can leave them down below, and I will try to answer everybody. Thank you for watching, and if this video has been any help to you, if you like the video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe. Thank you.